we have another community spotlight this week that we get a chance to highlight some community members inside of CNFTs. And this week's a special week where we get to sit down with a Cardano bit and winged warrior, DGen over here, CNFTBTC. Welcome on, man. How you doing?
Yeah, I'm doing good. I heard that you needed to have your headphones on for this, so I got my set.
Y'all ready to go then?
I'm ready to go. No,
Yeah.
I'm excited to be here.
Yeah, I love that background that you're rocking right now over there too. You got the winged warrior, as well as the Cardano bit showing off the green wings. It's a big flex over there. But thank you for jumping onto the show today. It's great to have you on, and yeah, you're a powerhouse inside of the CNFT community, whether people know it or not. And it's exciting to have you on, man, and get a chance to talk. CardanoBits is something inside of our show where we've mentioned briefly, but never kind of really dug deep into it at all. And then the Winged Warriors, we did get a chance to talk with Fettuccini last year. And he briefly kind of mentioned some of that stuff as well. But tonight we get to kind of highlight, because I think CardanoBits sometimes, they're kind of like the dark horse of the OGs inside the space. And I think they're trying to make a move here recently, is what it feels like.
Oh, yeah.
Coming up on their 1-year anniversary here soon. So yeah, we decided to have you on, get a chance, because I've seen you hosting weekly spaces now with Fettuccini over on Twitter, and just wanted to learn a little bit more about the Winged Warriors itself, what you guys are doing, and get a little bit of history on CardanoBits.
Yeah, that sounds good. You know what? I'm grateful that, I had to go to Fettuccini and ask him if he got enough of the spotlight now that somebody else can come through and talk about Warriors. Granted, the dude created it, right? He was the founder. He started this whole thing. So I'm really just riding on his coattails. But it's funny because nobody's really asked me to be on until, I hosted the Twitter spaces with that, and they realized how much swag I have and how deep I am, how far I've degened into the space. And now here I am. I finally made it with you guys. So
dude, well, awesome. This is, like you said, it's the first time you're getting to jump onto a video interview too, right? It's the first chance for everybody inside the community that they've heard from you, but they haven't actually seen you yet. So this is a first for that as well, right?
Yeah, it's an interesting community, where you don't see people's faces. You don't know a ton about them personally, except what they complain about in Discord or on Twitter. And everybody has a handle. So yeah, I'm being doxxed. You're doxing me for the first time. So it's cool. And just so everybody knows, my name is Amariah Hash. That's my full name. I go by CNFTBTC because I got into Bitcoin 7 years ago. That's right, 2015. I bought my first 10 Bitcoin. You can do the math. And that started me on this path. And then I found CNFTs last summer, actually in June. I had an opportunity to be able to go kind of full time into investing with crypto and a few other things. And then I found NFTs, and it was done.
Game over.
I was actually staking some cake over on Swap, making some money, some percentages that, eventually went down. But then I found Cardano NFTs, and I dabbled in VV a little bit, and it was over. So I went all in. I went pretty deep, and then I landed here. I landed with these. I keep going wrong side. Well, actually, I was pointing here.
It's the mirror. Right?
I landed in the Winged Warriors chat. I found out that if you own one of these wings, and this is my first girl right here, old 9316, I think she is. I actually haven't named her, so if you guys want to work on that in this time, I don't know if you have enough time to do that.
You got me thinking right now. That's
so start get those wheels turning.
Right.
I'll do.
But yeah, I bought her, and just to be, transparent, it was 15,000 ADA, and at the time, ADA was close to $2, and so it was a big commitment for me. And I didn't really know what I was getting into, but I will say, jumping in that Winged Warriors server, and really it's a server, but then there's this channel you get into with the wing. It kind of changed everything for me. In the Winged Warriors, you'll find a lot of the creators from the very beginning. Shadi Nasir, Fettuccini, Jake Jubb, Psychedelius, just OGs, Rokindo of Hype, Schools, NFTs, just a ton of projects, creators, and artists. Jason Matias is does live art, in real life art and digital art. That's pretty good. So I jumped in there, and we just started talking about stuff, and it was the summer of love. ADA was pumping from $1.10 to $3. Buds were going from 200 ADA to 6,000 ADA, and everything was going nuts. And so everybody was like, "Hey, what are we getting into today? What are we gonna crush? Do we like this project?" There wasn't a ton of metaverse plays yet. A lot of it was still about the art, and so yeah, the Winged Warriors kind of changed things for me, and it made it kind of a full-time position. I had to ask my wife, for permission. She's,
I understand.
She's behind all this. She loves me a ton and lets me do this. But it worked out that summer, so I kind of secured an opportunity to keep doing it for a little while. But we'll see.
No,
but yeah.
What was her reaction on that 15,000 ADA purchase?
She it's the same reaction you get from everybody who sees these things. Like my father-in-law just moved in, and I showed him I bought a orangutan clay for 18,000 ADA yesterday, I think it was.
Oh, that was you. I saw that sale.
Yeah, that was me. And he was like, "What are you?" And, dude's 78 years old, and he's like, "Kids these days." And I remember that being said when I was a kid,
Right.
But yeah, so she trusted me because I've been trading for a long time. I traded stock options on the options floor back in the 80s, 90s. So you can tell I'm a little older than I look. I know. It was maybe 30 years ago. 7.5 years there. I was in entertainment. I was in restaurants for 12 years. And then, I started trading cryptocurrencies. So I've been in markets, and I was like, this is the market, and it's got art and utility and games and collectability and all the stuff that I love, but I was able to make some money on it too. So she was at first a little like, okay, you're nuts, but I trust you and love you. And I had to make sure that was true.
When you bought your Miss Green Wings behind you, that was also before all the markets. Was that early? Was it through Discord back then, or did you get it on one of the secondary markets? Do you remember that?
Okay, I'm glad you brought that up. The beginning of CNFTs for me was actually Miss Rose's auctions house. Scarlett, Mrs. Scarlett is
I remember that.
One of the most amazing people in the space, more or less women. A great friend. We're very, very cool. And she got me into it. Actually, I was a high school teacher, and I had an artist that one of my students had special needs, and she couldn't work in a traditional situation. She was an amazing artist. I actually minted her work and sold it on an auction house. So it was Miss Rose's auction house. And it was there really that I got my first taste of auctioning. And so, I ended up getting into a P2P, which I am famously known for P2Ps to escape the escrow fees. But very, very dangerous. And NFA, nobody ever do P2P. It's just stupid. You don't want to do it. Find a good escrow service and be safe. But I did. I met somebody in P2P to 15,000.
Jesus, that person to person just made it right there in the Discord. Yeah. Oh, man, I was just saying, I know, because it was April. We're coming up on the year now for CardanoBits. So that was before any of these marketplaces.
CNFT.io or
no smart contracts, anything what we have now. If you guys were making those big sales on some of these early projects, and that was just all through community on Discord. It was all arranged through the community.
In June, we were talking. We actually had a Zoom meeting with like 4 or 5 of the 5 people in the space. And we were talking about, so what do you think? Where are we going with smart contracts? The Alonzo hard forks come in. What about these marketplaces? You think they're going to affect these auction houses? Because auction houses were rocket. Like it was nuts. And shout out to Crypto Drams. He stole so many from me. Like just, it's disheartening.
Dude, that's so crazy to hear, because you hear all the OGs, like you said, inside of that space and where they are now. A lot of them either are just, like you said, whales that just are big inside the community, or they've gone on to create their own projects or become part of projects, or just community figures that all kind of arose from those early days of CNFTs, and especially, like you're saying, inside the Winged Warriors. I guess to kind of bring it back for anybody who's not even familiar with CardanoBits at all, and why they have relevance and why Winged Warriors are expensive as they are right now. Can you give a little bit of background? I know, like you said, we're coming up on the year anniversary, April 4th, last year, Easter Sunday, right? Was the mint. And it wasn't like a traditional mint like nowadays, even not to send in your wallet address. It was on a Google Doc form. And it took about 6-7 days to get all the NFTs finally launched out to everybody.
Yeah, so I don't know if people even know what Google Docs are anymore, but there's this thing that you open and you can type stuff into it. They dropped on Google Docs, and it was such a mess that Alessandro Berry had to jump in to help. It was the second project minted after, second 10,000 drop project minted after SpaceBuds, not far after SpaceBuds, because SpaceBuds, as of this recording, it's their birthday, and I know you guys are going to highlight that.
Absolutely.
But then also it was the third total project dropped. Berries were given away for people that staked with the berry stake pool. What?
That's crazy.
Before all of this.
That is crazy.
So yeah, so it was the third project. You know, after the project dropped, there was a ton of FOMO. You know, it did really well, and then there was some talk about the creator abandoning the project, or at least not showing it the kind of support and love that a new and early project community needs. The Discord went kind of quiet. The Twitter wasn't popping. And then, you know, it's been up and down since. It's been as high as 400 as far as a floor goes. And then it's been as low as 20 ADA. And then in September, a group came together and said, man, we really care about this project. It's amazing. You know, I think it took like 3 to 5 years for CryptoPunks to really get some traction to where they were a really, really hot commodity. And look at where they are today, right? So this should be, in my opinion, and is the CryptoPunks of Cardano NFTs. Though we never want to compare it directly to somebody else's project. They created a community wallet. They did a fundraiser. They revitalized the Discord. They started a new Twitter called Cbit Army. And from that, yeah, things kind of came back to life. They put a lot of work and heart. Shout out to Plutus. Shout out to Mizzle. Shout out to Pranico over there on their Discord. But there it is, Cbit Army. So you can go ahead and join their Discord. We'll drop that link in the description of the video, I'm sure.
Yes, absolutely.
And yeah, they ended up getting the creator more involved, and now they have a community wallet, and 50% of all royalties are dropped to the community wallet. The creator keeps 50 and the community wallet keeps 50. And so I think that, you know, there's some amazing Cardano bits that don't get as much attention as the wings do, because the wings, there's only 107 of them, and they get you kind of into a server channel that, you know, that you can really discuss, and you can get developers from there. You know, people do projects, that's what they do. And so there's a lot of value to owning Wing. There's more value potentially coming up, because I've been blessed to be able to take a more of a leadership role there and trying to do the same thing kind of with the Wings community that they did with the Cbits community. But Cbits are awesome. You can see there's an orange shirt right there on that site, and I mean, there's shadows.
I was going to go ahead and highlight some of this stuff here as we were scrolling through here. Just because some of these are, again, this kind of what drew me in. Cardano Bit was like I said, the second NFT I ever bought when I got into right off of CNFT.io back in August of last year when I got introduced to these things. And again, they did give me the kind of CryptoPunk vibes even back then. As we were scrolling through, but I had no idea about the rarity. I had no idea about the wings. I had no idea about the aliens, you know, the shadows, any of that stuff. So I just kind of bought off of what I liked at the time. And I purchased actually mine even back in August. It was like 250 ADA, which I thought was an insane thing to even buy back then. You know, so I can only imagine what you guys were going through. Then.
That was a lot.
All right. I can only imagine what you guys went through.
Baller, bro. I didn't know you were a baller. You guys, we have a baller.
Yo, hey, we try to, right? We try to flex on people. No.
Not a flipper, though.
No flippers.
I wish I was. I'd make a lot more money if I could actually sell some of the NFTs I have.
I think if you ever needed to flip anything, I think you'd be pretty set right now with what you got going on. That's always a curious conversation too. So you guys really like believed in this, whatever it was going on. So this launched in April of last year, and then by the time June rolled around, you had purchased. That was your first purchase for your wing for 15,000 ADA in that time frame.
It might have been July. I think it was probably July.
Right.
But yes, but within a few months, where you're paying $30,000 for a single NFT. That's a big deal. That's a good project.
Absolutely.
There's a lot going on there.
Oh, absolutely. So what was it that made the appeal to you guys, even of why you guys decided to spend that much ADA on something like that? What was the draw for you back then?
You know, being in this space, I realize now the Genesis projects on any blockchain are huge. Because it's the beginning of something, and then there's so much that comes after that. A lot of it is crap, for lack of a better word, and then a lot of it is great. You know, innovation, utility. Now we have the metaverse, we have racing games from Equine, all kinds of stuff going on. But we can always revert back to the beginnings, and also community. I think honestly, between all, and I'm not on every blockchain. I'm not bagging on Tezos or Sol or any of those. ETH is pretty thick. There's just a lot going on. Cardano is a really tight community, and we're really a positive community, and we want to build and we want to appreciate people's art more than we want to just make a bunch of money and try and drive prices, right? So we're kind of adverse to pump and dump behavior, and these first projects, the Berries, the Space Buds, the Cbits, the clays. Even we had Claybuds 2 dropped today. Claybuds 1 is one that people have kind of forgotten about, but they're doing really well now. So yeah, I mean, look at them, they're beautiful. I mean, especially the wings, in my opinion. But you got gold chains, you got Rasta hair, you got zombies, you got skellies. That purple alien will actually be giving one of those away on Thursday. Tomorrow, well, we're recording on Wednesday, and this is not coming out till Friday, but we'll also give one away the next week. No, we're not going to do that. We're giving one away if we get 100 people to visit our spaces. So I honestly don't think it will actually happen tomorrow. But if one of our spaces ever hits 100, that's a $500 NFT. And I'm also known, CNFTBTC is known for his giveaways. Just on my personal channel, I give away Cardano trees. I give away Cardano bits. I give away stuff that equine. I give away stuff that has value. I don't give away space. Although I did change that. Yeah, did you like that? I changed all that. That was the first. So go back down to the parrot. That parrot was the first space bot I ever bought. That was a 400 ADA parrot. Wow. And I will never sell him. He's actually not my. I have a fish. I have a wolf. I have all this other stuff. 7Gs. But that is the one that will always be in my. But scroll back to the top. You'll see that I put up the buds just for the anniversary.
Right. I was going to say you're rocking that today. Of course,
those are my guys there. I have a polar bear, no belt polar bear.
That's sick.
1G polar bear and a 7G robot with a baguette. Anyways, so I think these early projects, they have deep community, and I really, really do like the pixelated art on the Cbits. I think it's phenomenal. So yeah, I think that's why people were willing to go in on it and are still willing to go in on it. I don't think it's seen nearly what it's going to.
I mean, I know the floor you're saying there was only, I don't know if I was where I saw the tweet or where it was at, but there was only, I think maybe 5 or 6, 7, something like that available for sale currently on the secondary market.
So it's now 5, and that's because one was added. Basically, I've bought 5 of these wings in the last 3 weeks myself. Wow. I have 8 currently in a wallet, and potentially some somewhere else floating around. But we'll just say I have 8 for now.
Yeah.
But the other holder, the biggest holder, there are 2 other holders that have 5 wings each, and I won't say who they are because I don't know if they want to be doxxed on this video. But I love them. I love you guys. But I have 3 more than you do. Because I just gotta be first.
Flex on them.
I gotta be first.
Right.
But also I'm helping a lot with things. So I'm doing the spaces every week, every Thursday at 5:15 Eastern Standard Time or Eastern Daily Time. I'm doing this hosting a spaces. We'll be talking about all kinds of different stuff. We'll be giving away free Cbits for people that attend. And we're also opened up our server with some more channels. You can ask a question of a winged warrior on our Discord server and we'll answer for you. We'll give you a valuation on an NFT. We're having a banner contest. So there's a lot that we're doing with the winged warriors. If you scroll down underneath that, things with wings.
Yes.
Bam, show us your thing with wings.
Hey, I actually
and then right there.
I was going to say, fun fact, I actually posted in here. I think in here, the only wing thing that I actually own is a Tavern Squad. And I actually, I'm in there. I'm in the Discord over there.
We are famous. Look at that. Thank you for leaving your signature. We are so humbled, sir.
I love the block. Yeah, no, this is fun. You guys are all.
So
go ahead.
We're trying to open it up to the community. Come on in. We're also working on something which I can't totally talk about right now because we're not all the way there and I don't want to disappoint anybody. We've gotten some momentum to make some things happen. We're looking at a drop. We're looking at some other ways to give value to people that have wings. We're also trying to find a way to work in some value for the Cbits in general. It's harder to do because there's a lot of those. And so somebody that could own, more of the floor Cbits could, outvote somebody, say, that has a shadow or something. And that wouldn't really be fair. So we're working on it, but something's coming. We're going to make it happen. It's going to be awesome. And Cardano's $1.07 at some point today, so amen, right?
Right. Yeah, we're on the way up.
We're on the way
for sure.
I think it's $1.10 now.
Yeah, I love the meme.
What?
It shot up to $1.10. So I saw this little meme today. It was like Cardano under $1. It was like the was a Squid Games guy who's just like huddled in the corner, and it's Cardano over $1, and he's just like the little dance move.
He won it all.
Yeah,
he's the last squid on Mr. Beast's channel.
Yes, yeah.
Got it.
So you guys, Wing Warriors, are dropping, every Thursday at 5:15 Eastern. They're doing spaces, they're doing giveaways, they're getting people into the community. You guys are established inside the vets inside. I mean, if you look inside the Discord itself that you guys have, again, you have huge community members over here. Like you said, you have Jub, Cardano Dan, Fadukin, Rebel. I mean, I know a bunch of these guys. I'm not even going to go through all of them, but there's so many of them inside of here, and it's fun to actually see some of you guys, because obviously some of the people inside this community have taken off inside the CNFT world and done their own thing too. So it's just a little bit, you feel a part of like a bigger group inside the community, which is, I know the Wing Warriors is. So you guys are opening that to the community itself now by getting them in there. So I'm curious, like you said, with the DAO, what are your kind of future plans or like short-term kind of goals for the Winged Warriors?
So I got a taste of alpha for you, but not too much, because as you know, I personally err more on the don't overpromise and underdeliver.
Yeah.
But I am also a heavy delivery specialist, so I can almost guarantee it'll be delivered. But one thing I want to say is just come join our server. I mean, it doesn't cost you anything. It's free. I know you only get to do like 125 servers, so you might not have room for us, but jump in and come chat with us. And yes, you mentioned all those names. Blue Tough Guy is a new big hitter in the space. Jub has a channel where he basically just invites new people in and gets them started on how do they do NFTs, whether it's buying them or creating them. But here's the tiny drop of alpha. So we changed our handle to @WingedDAO. I'm not going to say exactly why, but I would say this: if there was a DAO that didn't just go buy assets, hope that they appreciate, everybody who holds their NFT holds a portion of that and will get it back to them at some point in some form of, a payout. What if it was a DAO instead where people could use the money to create their own projects? The community could vote on some code being worked on, or some project happening, or supporting some cause in the community that raises money for somebody that really needs it. Things like that is what we're more looking at doing than just your typical, I mean, not typical, but there's just a lot of things going on in the DAO space right now where, people are trying to buy up assets, see them appreciate, and distribute the money to their holders, or they're just making a ton of money off their NFTs. I don't know. I'm not going to say, but I will say we're doing something different, and we're doing something that's really focused on community. And that's why you should come and join us, because that's what we're really about. Yeah, we get out of pocket sometimes. Sure, we flex, we DJ, and there's too much DeFi going on for anybody. But we're really about building community. We want you to come in. We want you to be our friend, our cadet. Buy a wing. Come on in. We love you, Cardano community.
That's awesome. Well, I appreciate that. Like, again, you guys could basically become your own DAO right now with just the assets probably everybody inside of there holds, just that alone. So doing something different, that's refreshing. And you guys are helping each other out, which I think is what the whole persona of the Wing Warriors, from what I understand, is everybody kind of worked with each other to kind of lift each other up inside the space and help them build. I wanted to say, again, being inside the podcast of these segments, you only get so much time, but I did want to shout out your bit behind you, that woodwork. Can you give us a quick little bit of info on what that is behind you?
So this is a wooded pixel representation of my bit. And so literally the guy, I think it's Wooded Pixels at Twitter. I'll put it in the description of the video. He stains each pixel and then puts it into place, and he creates this physical art for you. That's now amazing. This is he does it for your PFP too, so you don't have to buy the physical piece. I asked him, do you do the physical piece? He said yes, and so I bought 3 of them for 3 of my wings because I love them. And then the other one that I had shown is on Discord. The handle's MyBN, and he does a 3D image of your bits, your pixelated bits, whether it's a wing or not. But here he also, for me, and us, just those little winged warriors in the clouds. That's awesome. For those that are on the podcast, they're beautiful. Come check me out, check us out, and we'll show them to you. Just
absolutely.
Just DM me. My DMs are open, unless you don't follow me on Twitter. They're not.
So the best place to find you guys is obviously you have at WingedDAO on Twitter, as well as CNFTBTC over as well. So go join the Discord. We'll link everything in the description outside of this, and go say hi. There's some OGs, some legends inside of that space. And I wish we had more time to go ahead and sit down, but this has been a great little segment to get people hopefully more introduced to what you guys are doing. Every Thursday, come check them out at 5:15 Eastern to learn a little bit more and hear from some of the big players inside the space. And I really appreciate you jumping on tonight. It's been really fun.
Love the
Hey, all it means. Yeah, thank you.
I agree, DJ. I feel like you like the wind beneath their wings.
I mean, he's hyping me up right now. I'm getting energized just listening.
I'm trying to go buy a wing right now. No.
Life is too good to not enjoy it and have fun.
I love it.
Right. I think that's one of the big things we can't forget in this space, especially when Cardano gets low and things, the systems are TXs are taking, 20 hours. Is just have fun. Like, talk some smack, man. Get on a, tell somebody you'll buy their NFT and super lowball them and laugh at them. I mean, just do something stupid fun, right? But it just means we'll have to come back again. I'll just have to visit you guys again. Freedom 35. You guys are a big deal. I feel like this is the right place for me to make my entrance into the scene. So maybe a podcast coming.
Yeah, no, we appreciate chatting with you tonight. And dude, again, it's been an honor, man. So yeah, we'll go ahead. We'll link all the stuff down in the descriptions. CNFTBTC, thank you for joining us tonight. Wing Warriors, shout out. OGs inside the space. We appreciate it.
All right, you guys. Thanks so much for having me on.